Welcome back. So the rings have all been adjusted and we've got a good unwrap on those that will give us some decent space on our UV map to get some decent detail into those rings. I'm going to add the 3D cursor to the center using Shift C and on the screencast keys. And we'll go to Mesh, add a plane, and I'm just going to scale this down in edit mode. I'm going to scale it until it's about the size of the opening. And just move this up a little bit. So around about here, I'll maybe scale it down just a little bit more, just until the middle part of the plane actually disappears. And then we have a couple of options here. What I think I'll try is grabbing these verts and then hitting bevel and beveling this. Now nothing happened there, but that's okay. If we click on vertex only, you can now see that we have a bevel. I'm going to increase or decrease the amount of that. I'm going to add a couple of segments, maybe 3 segments. Scale this down until we get basically the shape top of the barrel. I want to make sure there's no verts sticking out. There's a couple of verts sticking out, but we can just manually fix that. So let's just, when we zoom in, those verts disappear, so that's fine. Let's isolate this. And this is the fun part. Now we're going to connect up some of these verts. Now, in some cases, some of these verts are moving into the area of becoming doubles. So let's just select them all, hit W, and click on Remove Doubles. And we'll just use this merge distance and increase this until some of these close verts snap together. About there, it's removed 4 vertices, so that's perfect. Now let's go into vertex mode. We're going to grab some of these verts and we're just going to connect them. So this is going to be our slats. Now these two are about the width I would like, but these 3 are a bit too wide, so I'm going to grab both of these. And again, we're going to bevel. Now you'll see that we've got a lot of segments there. We're just going to decrease that. And now I want to get these pretty even. So about here, I would say. And I'm just going to scale these. Now we've created these at a slight angle. So let's just rotate this around. Get these pretty straight. I don't actually mind that the angles on these are a little bit off because it just adds, again, a little bit more character to the model. Let's scale these in Y and try and straighten these out just a little bit. And then scale these in Y too. That's looking good. That's looking pretty rugged as well. So I'm going to select all and I'm just going to hit U and unwrap this just now. So what I have basically at the top here, the UV image editor, is this flat unwrap. And I'm also going to make a couple of adjustments to this. I'm going to select all these edges, hit E and split these. And then let's go to face mode, select all. I'm going to extrude these up a little bit. I'm going to increase my selection by 1. Look at the underside of this. We're going to hit A and invert the selection. And these faces, we're just going to hit X and we're going to delete those faces. The next step is to go into side view or a front view in orthographic mode and in wireframe mode. That was a little bit strange from that angle, so let's look at it in this view. And we're basically going to grab all these edges along the bottom, so let's go to border select and just grab those. We don't want any of the top edges. And we're going to hit E and we're just going to edge, no, we're not going to edge split, we're going to mark a seam. So now if we go into face mode, select all again and then just go up to the UV image editor and hit E. We'll unwrap those, so now we have these planks all unwrapped. That looks great. Fine, that's perfect. Get rid of the UV image editor, go back to solid mode, and then let's apply our modifiers. So we want to use a bevel modifier. Again, 2 segments, profile up around 90, limit by angle, although in this case every edge on this is going to be beveled. We want to decrease this amount, so take it all the way down to 0, hold shift, and then just gradually increase it until you get what you want, so this very slight separation. And we'll just add a subdivision surface modifier, a couple of segments, set to smooth shading, and now we have our slats for the top. You can see around the edges here we actually have a smooth circle. In some cases here, this one has been caught by the bevel modifier, so we can just tweak this. I actually want to tweak it. Maybe this amount. Let's just make sure we don't see any strange edges when we unhide everything. So let's hit / to unhide everything, and let's see if anything's sticking through the barrel. No, and I don't see any gaps. So that's perfect. That's working exactly the way we want. Let's go to edit mode. So let's go to object mode. In fact, no, let's go to edit mode on those slats. Make sure we actually have them selected. Select all. Duplicate. I'm going to move these up first of all. I'm going to rotate them 180 degrees on the X axis. Go to our front view. And I'm going to move these down. I'm just going to move them until they disappear in the barrel. So there we have that there. Now the bottom of the barrel, I think I actually want to have this scaled down a little bit. And a little bit closer to the bottom. Just on the off chance that you ever use this as a game asset and you have a barrel lying on its side, it would probably be a little bit more realistic if the bottom of the barrel was a little bit flatter like that. This top part, pretty happy with. Now obviously we've just unwrapped that and then duplicated it, so both of those parts will be exactly the same, exact same texture. And I don't necessarily want that, so again let's select all and just hit unwrap again. Now I know from experience that if I go in here, we're going to have two sets of everything, and it's already pretty much laid out exactly the way it should be. We've got no scaling issues, there's no issues of any type there, so that all works fine. All the slats are also in the same orientation, so if we have a wood grain running from left to right, it's going to match for all the different slats. Nothing's going to be going horizontal up and down these. So that pretty much finishes off the the high poly modelling of this barrel. So the next step is really just to take this into Substance Painter, paint it up, and then we can create a low poly version and pretty much just bake all the details of the high poly, fully textured version back onto a low poly version.